Tom Haley here around the Bluegrass with my good friend Dwayne Buckles, and we're at McLeod's Coffee House on Southland Drive in Lexington, both of our favorite places to have meetups. And we've been talking about the things that we miss the most during the pandemic. And I'm going to ask Dwayne to share with us a little bit about all the things that you missed that you're glad are coming back. So,
yes. Tom, thanks for having me on camera, I guess.
Sure.
This is a little different than our normal formats, but thanks for having me on. Things I missed last year. It's anybody that grew up in Lexington or lived here for long enough, you missed the big things like Keeneland and UK football tailgating. But the things that I missed, and you realize this early on, you wanted to get out and about. Well, Ravens Run, which is very near where I live out in Heartland, was it's a 100+ acre sanctuary, maybe even bigger than that. I don't even know how many acres is there.
It's huge.
But you had to make an appointment to go there, and then once you made the appointment at a certain time, you only had 2 hours to stay on the premise, and then you had to leave for the next group to get out there. So that was a little mix-up changes there that I didn't really care for, because COVID, everybody was inside. Why couldn't they let everybody outside? But again, that's a bigger. There's an answer out there for that that I don't know of. But those things are there, and then you roll into things close down in March, and you made through April and then May. Well, June is traditionally the Great American Brass Band Festival down in Danville, which I've gone to every year for 25 years. They have bands basically from all around the world, and of course I was in a high school band, loved playing trumpet. Still love brass bands and so forth, but you get to see all the different concert bands and Dixieland bands. There's always a band that comes up from New Orleans, and they lead the parade at the end, and it's always a fun group, and they call it the Great American Brass Band Festival. So hopefully next year it's going to be back. It was here this year. It was so hot this past Saturday downtown that it was kind of miserable. They usually have it on Center's campus, which is this great lawn, and it's usually, no matter how hot it is, you got trees you can get underneath, and it's cool just being in the grassy area. So that's an event I missed last year, but hopefully it'll come back full force next year. July 4th, there's always this Patriotic Concert down at Transylvania, where the Lexington Philharmonic plays, and they have like little, the kids all shoot off sparklers and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's just a great little event. I think they didn't have it last year, obviously, because of COVID. I think 2 years ago it rained, so it just seemed like it's been a while since I've been to those events. And then my favorite event of all in the summertime is the Keeneland Concours d'Alliance, which is a chance to see $1 million cars that you wouldn't see, very exotic cars, very old Duesenbergs and old Cadillacs and Fords and Chevys, and every year they pick a different group like BMWs or Corvettes to honor and have their car collection come. But it's every car that you could imagine. I remember seeing it's like a 1905 electric car, and I didn't know that electric cars was around back then. And of course, because of oil and Ford and Standard Oil getting together and pushing the oil, that's why we're driving oil vehicles today, or gasoline vehicles instead of electric vehicles, because the technology would have probably picked up where the oil replaced now. So that's really an event that I missed the last year, and we'll come back again on July 17th. So day after my wife's birthday, so I got to have permission to be able to go to that. And that's basically it. Then you're back into the fall, the Keeneland meets, and then the UK football tailgating, which all of us missed. The 60,000 plus people missed that.
Right.
So, and then of course Keeneland, 30,000 people missed that last year. And even though it was back this spring, it was back and I didn't go because it was. I think they required you to wear masks even outside. So that just was too much for me to do that. And you go there to enjoy the people and the social aspects and everything, along with the betting, of course, but it wouldn't be the same without 30,000 people, I don't think.
Well, I will have links in the show notes.
Okay.
The list of the things that you mentioned in the show notes below, and if they have websites for these organizations,
they all do. Yep.
I'll have hot links, workable links on there as well. And I have an idea, Dwayne. You and I should maybe do some kind of tours of the Bluegrass to some of these locations.
Yeah.
Maybe a little revenue stream.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
well, thank you so much for, we'll do the fist bump
There you
thing
go.
still, I guess, but thank you so much for getting together with me and sharing these things that we all need to get out around the Bluegrass and enjoy here in 2021.
Thank you, Tom. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Talk to you next week when I will be back out around the Bluegrass. Thanks.